Another live with the DNA show. I'm your host, Anthony Fan. My man, as always, with me, my co-host, Donnie Bryant Jr., that is. Don't forget the JR at the end, baby. JR Ryder. My friend, how's it going on this beautiful post-Pro Bowl Sunday?
Disappointed at the Pro Bowl, but it's always good. There's always football around.
That's right. Yeah, football, if that's what you want to call it. The Pro Bowl is just over. The AFC has won it. Uh, I just saw the score 41-35, the AFC. So if you stuck around for 4 quarters and watched that, praise be to you. So, but hey, who's to blame for that? Who's to blame for why they play that way? Who's to blame for not giving these guys incentive to play? Who's to blame is the name of the show today, live on YouTube and Facebook. Who's to blame with that catastrophe, much like the Pro Bowl that has happened this year in the Carolinas? Who is to blame? Well, me and Diane kind of
Ready
talked
to go
about it.
around.
Plenty of blame to go around. That is correct. We've kind of talked about it, and I said, "Hey, well, who, who's the options? Who's the options here?" And I'm thinking it's down to four. I think four is about the only. Unless you start blaming the concession stands or something. It's the food goes
Those
into.
snacks were hitting. I just want the prices to go down.
Yeah, for
I
real.
mean, Bojangles there is $28 and a blood transfusion. So
That blood
shit.
transfusion. Yeah, for real. And the watered down beer is twice as much, and your son's your firstborn, the soul of your firstborn. So that's right. That probably goes on Tepper. So, but Tepper is on the list. Tepper, head coach Matt Rule, the players, the fans, you and I, you guys watching, us, them, they. Who's to blame, man? Who is to blame is what we're talking about today. So, but yeah, David Smith in the chat already. He's laughing. I've seen more physical football at elementary school recess compared to the Pro Bowl. That is correct.
That's true. We weren't even allowed to tackle a recess, but by God, we at least try to push the lines a little bit. But maybe give a little aggressive shove or some shit.
Yeah, for real.
That borderline got us solid lunch.
Yeah, for real. And I'm already getting the blame in the chat. Someone said Anthony is to blame. That's Jeremy Baker. Shout out to JB. Yeah, I definitely am. I mean, look at me.
Hey, listen. I don't go without blame either. I'm sorry, Mom. I'm sorry, Dad. I am sorry. I'm sorry. I'm hoping my child in the future can somewhat resurrect this last name to be somewhat decent.
Our standards are just way too high. So, but yeah, we're going to go into it a little bit, and you guys, and actually, we're going to vote. I want you to go ahead and guys vote between the four. I'll go ahead and show you now. Hey, who do you blame? Vote now in the chat. Call in and tell us who do you blame. Um, Owner David Tepper, head coach Matt Rule, the players, the fans. Hey, what do you say? What do you say? So back to us. Um, well, I'll go ahead. I'll pass it off to you, Donnie. Between those four, or even if you got someone else that you just thought of, but who do you blame? You blame all four? You blame three of the four? You blame two of the four? You blame one of them? You blame
Hmm.
the guy drumming on the way into the Bank of America that's already
Ain't
sitting.
his fault. He's given a courageous effort to go in there. Uh,
Yeah, good luck with
well, I
that.
mean, poor guy. He's wasting all that energy
The
this year at
security
least.
for letting in so many Eagles fans to the game we went to. I mean, hey, who's to blame? Who is to blame for the past two seasons? Not just one season, the past two seasons, which is probably kind of hints to the answer, Matt Rule.
Right.
But the past three seasons haven't been great either with David Tepper being the new owner. So, but sorry, go ahead. The floor is yours, man. Blame if you had to put it somewhere. Who are you pointing your finger at? Yourself? Tepper? Matt Rule? The players? Or both?
There's a lot of blame to go around, but like the first thing that pops out is the most obvious. It's the guy that's on that sideline making that God forbidden face that. That's Matt Rule, by the way, who I'm mocking. Doesn't know shit about football. You know, I mean, he gets a lot of the blame because he's a $60 million coach,
Yeah.
I think one of the top five highest paid coaches in the league. One of the top five, five highest paid coaches in the league. We don't look like it. I know that he doesn't look like it. I mean, we don't come out prepared.
Yep.
We just submit at home. We don't win at home anymore. We don't take pride in that shit at home. We lose at home. We don't play with any more grit. There's no leaders, and we don't make adjustments. We just look like an amateur football team, man. I mean, even Pat McAfee, coined us, he called us a high school football team. That's what we look like, and that's embarrassing. So
Yep.
a lot of that comes with the head honcho, Mr. Matt Rule. I don't know. I just feel like he seems like he's over his head. I mean, we don't. I mean, for three games this season, we looked sharp. I think sharp enough to be, a playoff caliber team. With those first three games, I mean, like I said, I took the bait. Thought we looked really good, and then our true colors started showing. I mean, we started getting our asses whooped every home game.
Yeah.
We couldn't stop the run. So, to me, Matt Rule is the reason behind that, and I say that to say, how are you supposed to win football games if the guy in charge of basically football operations around there doesn't know what he's doing?
Yeah.
He's like I say, he's in over his head. I mean, and one thing that's the most obvious thing that he screwed up on is the whole quarterback thing. I mean, like I said, we've had multiple quarterbacks coming. He's supposed to be this builder, but yet he's rushing the building process. So
Yep.
you bring in Teddy Bridgewater. Number one, you let go of Cam. Then you bring in Teddy Bridgewater. Then he brings in his guy, PJ Walker. Then he brings in Sam Darnold. I mean, and we're 0 for 3. I mean, he brought, tried to bring back Cam, and that didn't quite work. But a lot of this is go on him. I mean, I don't know. We're just an amateur football team, man.
And real quick, people out there, you can vote more than one. You don't have to blame it on one person. You can blame it on 2 people, 3 people, 4 people. That's all you. But continue, sir.
No, and we look at it, man. Like we look at a coach like Sean McVay. I mean, look how energetic he is. Look how prepared that team is each and every week to play. Like, look at Andy Reid's team. I mean, that's just. I mean, they had some bumps in the season. But guess what? They made adjustments. They figured the shit out, and they made a deep playoff run. Or you can talk about Zach Taylor, the head coach of the Bengals.
Yeah.
I mean, the team initially. I mean, you look at the offense line, you would really think they wouldn't do anything. But, I mean, they make accommodations. They make adjustments to put their star players in position to win. And it just puts them over the top, which a lot of it's next level coaching, which Matt Rule hasn't. It seems like he's still stuck in that college shit,
Yeah.
Let's eat a fruit snack in the morning. And then after we eat a fruit snack, let's go wash our hands. And when we go wash our hands, then, I don't know. We'll play some, I don't know. Just fucking hopscotch. I don't know. We'll play a recess first, and then we'll practice.
Other coaches
Practice
have been fired for less. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, Steve Wilkes, our guy from Carolina, our defense coordinator, got fired after one season. David Culley just got fired this season. That's bullshit.
Yeah.
Well,
one person in the chat, one person has voted for Matt Rule, Henry Dickerson Jr. That is, he's a junior just like yourself, sir. He said, I would say a lot is on Matt Rule, but ultimately you need to look at decisions by the ownership. You've kind of already said Matt Rule. He says Matt Rule as well, but you kind of got to look at the ownership. What do you say about that? What do you say about how much is on Tepper? Tepper was the one who went out. Well, him and Hurney, right? Am I correct? My memory
say again one more time.
Was it Tepper and Hurney that went out and got Rule? They went and visited him at his house?
Yep, Tepper and Hurney, yep.
Yeah.
They decided and I was going to allude to that ownership thing too, because like I said, by no way am I condoning. Like I said, we talked yesterday. We by the way, guys, we did a whole video on the culture change in Carolina. You'll see it. I'm probably going to repeat myself once you watch it, but for me, it's a lot of it is on Tepper too, because if you think about it, once he took over this team, we play like nothing that we used to play like. I mean, with Richardson, as the owner, I mean, we had some great seasons with Fox. We had some great seasons with Rivera. Both of those coaches, went to a Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, we've had one potentially, promising looking year since Tepper has been the owner. And that was the 18 season. And that was the season where we started off 6-2. Cam was in the MVP race. He had a high completion percentage. The defense was playing phenomenal. And then, boom, the injury happens. We just go on this big ass rut and we just lose, I think, almost every single game after that. So,
Yeah.
So a lot of that goes to Tepper because I feel like, as a guy who doesn't have much football knowledge, I go out and say because he wasn't a huge, he was a minority owner. He didn't have a lot. I think he had a small percentage of the ownership
Yeah.
over there in Pittsburgh. And if you look at it, I mean, that's going to
Where Jerry
affect us
Richardson
too.
was a former player.
Former player, exactly. And on
Yeah.
top of that, you would think with Tepper being a smart guy, I mean, he's a very successful man. I mean, I can't say shit
Sure.
about what he's, but I mean, realistically, you would think that he would hire the right people around him to make good, executive football decisions, right?
Yeah.
So, a lot of this is to go. I mean, we're soft as hell right now. I mean, we've been soft ever since we got Tepper. I mean, the fans have become soft. Keep pounding chant has died down. Something that we've built our, legacy off of as a franchise. A lot of that shit goes on him, man. He has yet to make a statement about the outlook on the team and to give us a hope of, confidence or a boost of morale. So
Yeah.
So
And he was
whoever,
very vocal during the Cam era and in the very beginning. And all of a sudden he
easy, right?
appeared.
Because he just took it over. Yeah. Now he shuts his
disappeared.
ass up, eats Bojangles up there in the damn stands, has all his chest hair out. I mean, Jesus Christ, man. But yeah, he definitely gets a lot of blame for me. Shout out to Mr. Dickerson Jr. because I was just going to allude to the ownership. Huge problem.
Someone said, I think it's Melissa that said, I think it's Donnie Anthony's fault personally. I'll take that blame. It is. Also,
I got to be better. I got to.
we do. Also, Jeremy says, for years, Andy Reid was known as a coach who could not manage the end of a game / 2-minute drill or warning. What happened? Time. He learned. 2 years with an average team does not make a coach's career. Thoughts?
I agree. I mean, if you look at it, he's matured so much as a coach. I mean, he's never been a bad coach. I'll go and say that. But for years, the talk was like Andy Reid can't get that team over that hump, right?
Yeah.
He can't. They can't do it at the. They can't punch that win in at the with the big dance. But he finally did it. He's always had a good eye for talent. I think that finding a guy like Andy Reid, he should have a lot more Super Bowls. I mean, he lost in 04 to the Patriots. But, yeah, I mean, he learned. I mean, because eventually, like Sean Payton, that's kind of what he struggled with for a little bit. I mean, they just couldn't get over that hump. Fantastic coach. Even though they're our division rival, I hate the Saints, but I got a lot of respect for Sean Payton. Fantastic coach. Unfortunately, well, not unfortunately. Fortunately, he wasn't able to get over the hump, which it may be his second go around of coaching. He might be able to do that, but not. I agree with this Andy Reid take for sure.
Yeah, me too. But I do think there's a difference though. But Reid was winning. Reid was getting to the playoffs.
They were getting to the playoffs.
Yeah, they were getting there all the time. The difference with Matt Rule, there was a study I seen. Another Panther follower that we follow on Twitter, he put out. I wish I would have saved it. It was a graph of like 10 years of all these coaches. Basically, the graph had said, without going into all these crazy detail, if a coach isn't winning or making progression in their first 2 years in the NFL, this goes back way back, then through history and study of this graph he used, they weren't gonna be successful ever.
Yeah.
And Matt Rule, his first 2 years was not successful, not improved at all. So
we regressed actually.
Yeah, we regressed. If good question, Melissa, who would be y'all's ideal head coach when hopefully Matt Rule gets fired? Yeah, sure.
Shout out Melissa. My ideal coach. So if Matt Rule were to get fired today, I would call in Jim Caldwell. Man, I just what he did with the Lions is so impressive to me. Like a team that's been known to just be shit. No offense to any Lions fans. I mean, they haven't really done. Well, they haven't done anything since he's left. I mean, he took it to the playoffs. I mean, the team was competitive when he was there. That's one coach for me that I've always had a lot of admiration for. He's worked with some of the all-time greats. Peterson's gone. That was another one of my options. I mean, other than that, maybe down the line, if Pep Hamilton has a really good,
Yeah.
showing, I, I will say this: if Pep Hamilton has a really good showing as offensive coordinator, and Matt Rule goes, what a fantastic fucking hire that would be. I mean, he's from Charlotte.
Yeah.
Went to high school in Charlotte, from Charlotte. That would just be a out of the park hit if all goes well with him
Yeah. That was
wherever
my
he's at,
vote.
and if Matt Rule goes, yeah.
Yeah.
I actually like Pep Hamilton, and he's worked and he's done some really good things with quarterbacks. At the end of the day, we need a coach that's gonna. You have to make adjustments as a coach. You
Yeah.
have to. I always use this example. Look at Doug Peterson and the Eagles during that run they had. Nick Foles had to step in when Carson went towards ACL. I think Nick Foles played significantly well after the injury happened with Carson Wentz. They ended up winning the damn Super Bowl. I mean, it all comes down. That's why Matt Rule gets so much blame. You're getting paid to be a top tier coach, but you're coaching like a piece of shit. Really, I mean,
Yeah. He's one of the top paid coaches as of now, but
he's also egotistic, which is something you really shouldn't be as a coach.
yeah.
Now you can be stern and you can, and you can definitely be stern and be strong minded, but don't deflect blame because good leaders don't do that shit.
Yeah, for sure. See, thus far, with the voting system, if you guys voted so far, right now, David Tepper, if you were to blame, he's got 1 vote. Matt Rule, 3. The players won. The fans won. So
Mm-hmm.
far, Matt Rule's large and in charge when it comes to your guys'
As he should
thoughts.
be, as he
Um,
should be.
yeah. Uh,
Um,
but I'm gonna go ahead and open the phone lines. Anyone want to call in, tell us your vote, and you don't have to just vote one person. You can vote multiple. That's what I did. That's why there's 1 vote in each category because I put blame 25% between the four. I did one of each because I think
yeah,
it's a whole. It's all of it. There
the
might be a
players
little bit
deserve
more
some
on
too.
one. Yeah, yeah. Players, us, the fans,
The
not people like
fans, yeah,
you and I who are devout and we go to the games and we no matter what. But there's
yeah,
a passion missing. I think that we used to have, and I tell you, no matter how bad the Detroit Lions are doing, they got a fan base.
yeah. Oh
Eagles,
yeah, the Browns did for sure.
the
I I
Baltimore was last in
commend.
their division this year, and they were number 8 in attendance this past year.
I salute the Browns, man. Those fans have stuck it out for the last 20 years, man.
Yeah,
And they
for
and
sure.
I'm hoping for their sake. I'm hoping for their sake
They get a
they get a
logo.
quarterback situation resolved. Yeah.
I hate that
I ain't
helmet
gonna lie though.
logo.
I do like the jerseys though.
The jerseys, yeah, yeah,
The
it
throwbacks.
works.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um, but no, I mean, I hope for their sake, man, that city gets them a quarterback. We all thought Baker Mayfield was going to be the guy. I'm sorry, Cal. Cal, an apology. I thought Baker Mayfield was going to be the guy. Cal let me hear that. She's like, fucking Baker, fucking Mayfield's fucking trash. He was right. He was right. Shout out to Cal. But no. In all seriousness, though, I mean, the players. I mean, I want to touch on that too. Like for us, we had, again, guys, Anthony and I did like a little pre-recorded show, just talking about the culture of the team, and we touched a little bit on the players and what I look for,
which is on our channel
or,
now.
or what I absolutely, yeah, go check it out, man. We had some really good content and had a good conversation about the culture of the team, and I'm going to kind of piggyback off that yesterday. So, what's my philosophy, Anthony? You need 2 dogs
On each side of the
on each
ball.
side of the ball, at
Yeah.
least 2 dogs and leaders, and I can't believe, God forgive me, I can't believe this slipped my mind. Jeremy Chin is another dog on that defense.
Oh yeah.
He had more of a quiet year this year. I didn't forget about him as a player, but like, and I feel like he's vocal too. So I just wanted to go back and address the fact that Jeremy Chin is another one of those dogs. But
Yeah.
we need a dog and a leader. So yeah, we need some guys to step up, man. I talked yesterday about us resigning Stephon Gilmore. Have to do that. Vet, once in a generational kind of talent, in my opinion, as a corner because he travels. He's at the line. He's being physical. Um, he demands respect. From the opposing team. He's gonna earn your damn respect whether you like it or
Yeah.
not. And I think guys, like I said yesterday, I think guys play better that way. When they see another guy busting someone's ass, like, all right, man, okay, let me go do my job. Okay, that's like with Brian Burns. Brian Burns is going to be a tremendous talent, for us too. That's another dog. But you got guys like Dante Jackson talks all this shit, doesn't put it together consistently. You got guys like Jermaine Carter, who's that linebacker, supposed to be one of the dogs of the defense. Linebackers supposed to be some damn dogs. Guess
Yeah.
what? Jermaine Carter doesn't do it. Shaq is another one of those guys that come in and play hard. But I mean, I don't know. Just like I said, why I blame the players is you look at our performances after that Washington Commanders now team that we lost to. After that, you could tell this team checked out. You just watch the Miami Dolphins game. You can see that most of the people checked out. I mean, motherfuckers are jogging during their routes.
Yeah.
Off, John Miller made this damn statement at the post game press conference earlier this season, or not earlier this season, later on in the season. He said sacks happen in the NFL. That shit pisses me off. That's some soft shit. I mean, I'm sure if Johnny Miller saw me, he probably wouldn't mind. That's fine. Got a height and wind advantage. But I'm gonna tell him how it is. Like, I mean, that's some coward shit. So you're already admitting that you're gonna get your ass whipped.
Yeah.
Every dog has his day. Oh, come on, say that shit.
Yeah.
How's that supposed to? Why is it supposed to make your teammates feel like okay? So you're just conceding defeat, like. So that's the state of this
That's
football
true.
team, man. Got a lot of guys that just. I feel like the passion of football, and don't get me wrong, I love to see players get paid, man. That is great to see because it's generational wealth being, that's going to be, passed down and people get endorsements. I love it. But don't, when you get to the next level, don't stop there, man. Like greats like Ray Lewis, greats like Tom Brady, Randy Moss, Jerry Rice, they love the fucking game. They love the
Yeah.
game. Jerry Rice played till he was like 41, 42, and playing at a high-ass level.
Yep.
Not saying everyone needs to do that, but I mean, that takes passion. LeBron James is still dominating the NBA at his age. I mean, you gotta want that shit. All those guys I just named are dogs. We don't have that shit. We got players that I don't know, man. I don't know. Like there's so much talent on this team, man. But we need to get a damn better in this locker room. That's going to set people straight.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
why I miss. That's why I miss the Thomas Davis. That's why I miss the Luke Kuechly. That's why I miss the Cam Newton. That's why I miss the Greg Olsen.
Yeah.
That's why I miss, a Charles Johnson, Julius Peppers, a Steve Smith, a Jake Delhomme, Dan Morgan, Chris Jenkins. I mean, listen to all these guys, man.
Yeah.
These are all fucking dogs, man. And we
Yeah.
don't have any of them right now.
Yeah.
Well, we have some, but not as in abundance that I just named.
Yeah, we have some, but they're missing the vocal. You know what I mean?
You got to be vocal.
Yeah, gotta be. Um, but yeah, someone in the chat said would love to see Luke Kuechly as a Panthers coach someday. He was a coach today for the
Oh, yeah.
Pro Bowl, and and he did do some
He'd be a
scouting
good
for them.
defensive coordinator to me.
Yeah, yeah, probably at least a linebackers coach. But he did do some scouting for us, and they interviewed him at the Pro Bowl, and he said he learned a lot, and he said he's trying to see what he's going to do next in his career. So hey, I hope Tepper gives him a call, somebody from the Carolinas gives him a call, and even if he's just there
Buffalo don't beat us first.
yeah, that's true. They grab everything. So it's the Buffalo Panthers, they should call them. But yeah, but to remind the people today is called who to blame. Who would you blame in Carolina for all the crap that's going on right now? So right now it still stands. Who do you blame? Vote now in the chat. Call in. Tell us. You can vote for more than one too. You don't have to just place blame all on one person. So far, owner David Tepper 1 vote. Head coach Matt Rule 3. The players won. The fans won. So far, you guys are saying Matt Rule is to blame for all this catastrophe. But it's a little bit. You see 1 vote in each category that actually came from me. I said a little bit for everybody. Tepper, he's the reason. He's the reason we got Matt Rule. He may have bought in and say, in college he turned it around, and I think that's what he was hoping for the NFL, but it's a completely different game. To his demise, to his inexperience in Pittsburgh. Now he was an owner, but like you said, he was part owner. Yeah, and so he saw it was a team of people that got him through. I think that kind of doesn't help him out. So what was the name of the series, Donnie, on Amazon that
All
they
or nothing.
All or Nothing? Cam Newton asked David Tepper. I remember a scene where he said, "How'd you get all those billions, Mister Tepper?" They always called him Mister Tepper, and he said, "Well, you aim big, you aim high, and to get the high rewards. You want to get the high rewards, you got to aim high, and that's pretty much what he said he did in stocks and whatnot. And that's what he did. He aimed high. He went and got a college coach that had no NFL experience because I think in his head, if this works, I look like a genius. And if it doesn't, whatever. Yeah, we'll see you down the road
They're
in
good
3 or
enough
4
one. Yeah.
years. Yeah. Yeah, I go get another one. Just pretty much like the quarterback situation, even though that wasn't his decision. But I think that's what Tepper was doing. He was aiming high. He was all in good faith for the team and for the because he cares about. I mean, he's not going to invest what he invested in the team and not care, of course. And he seems like a good guy. Goes around and talks to the fans and that kind of stuff. I guess they're investing money into his team, but so I think that's what happened there. Matt Rule, Donnie's already explained to you. Matt Rule, the players that I think, and that was another thing by David Tepper. He signed Cam as another. If this works, I look like a genius. But what he didn't realize is it wasn't. There's no such thing as a one player
Yep.
sign to give you the same basketball. Even in basketball, it don't work, you know. But so the players after Cam got signed, they looked good for one game, which was against the Washington football team, not the Commanders. And we didn't pull through with the win. Things fell apart. And they lost their morale, just like you've said before in the past. They lost their morale, and the rest of the season was just not good. I don't think we won a game after that, did we?
I think
After
we won
Washington,
like one.
yeah, I have to go
I
back and look at
think.
the schedule.
No, wait,
But
do we? No, we don't think we won
I
another
don't think
game
we
after that,
did.
man.
It seems like we didn't win after that. Crazy.
Yeah, I kind of want to piggyback off what you said about Tepper for a quick second.
Yeah. Go ahead, sir.
Uh, but you bring up a good point. So that does show his inability or his inexperience of being an owner. Never been an owner. So he tried to make a splash move, and it's not over yet because obviously Matt Rule's still here. But as for the show right now, trying to make a splash move. It looked really good on paper. I mean, just imagine the fucking headlines. Like Matt Rule makes history as the first coach from college to win a Super Bowl. Probably some shit like that. And it does sound good. And honestly, Matt Rule bought me in with his words early on. I was like, damn, this guy can make somebody run through a wall with his words. Like, that's good.
Yeah.
That's really good. And another thing is like, Tepper wanted to talk about rebuilding this whole thing. Okay, when you rebuild, you start from scratch. You don't try to cheat the process. You don't go out and get a quarterback that's been up and down his entire career.
Sure.
Battled up. Talking about Teddy Bridgewater, he battled through a bad knee injury, and that's not his fault. He can't help that. But you sign him to a big deal. You're still paying him, by the way, for those who don't know. So good job, Tepper.
Yeah.
You
True.
also bring in a Sam Darnold, and Matt Rule's decisions are a direct reflection upon him because he's the one, and I can't believe I forgot this one. He's the one who flew all the way to Matt Rule's house. Okay,
Yeah.
this is what he wanted. This is what he wanted. Okay. Secondly, Tepper should have saw the red flag when Matt Rule made the statement. It said, "Hey, do you mind if I call the Giants to see if they want to match this offer?"
Mm.
Come on, Tepper, you're smarter than that. You're obviously smarter than me. You're a billionaire. Plus, I'm a piece of shit, obviously. But the thing is when someone says that to you, you're showing your loyalty. You're showing your interest. You're man to man. You're sitting down in a man's place where he feeds his family, where they eat, where they cry, they laugh. He basically just spit on it. To me, that's how I took it when I heard that come out. It was like,
Yeah.
hey, I mean, this man's offering you probably the biggest contract in the NFL right now as a head coach, and you want to ask him to match the fucking offer? What? And I tell you what, he looks like he's matching the fucking offer because guess what? He probably didn't want to be here. He probably they probably upped the damn stakes in the offer, and that's why he's here. That's
Yeah.
obviously a conspiracy theory, but like, I don't know, man. Just for me,
Rubs you the wrong way.
Tepper gets a lot of blame. It does rub me the wrong way. I don't like that shit, man. That's about as loyal as you can get as a business owner is to come to someone's house. You don't meet at a neutral location. You say, hey, I'm gonna fly to your house. I want to meet your family. I
Yeah.
want to look at the family I'll be seeing for years to come, where we we all celebrate our wins together, and we get that damn so needed, that so desperately needed Lombardi Trophy, and you have the audacity to look at the motherfucker and say, hey, none of this team matches my offer because yours ain't fucking good enough.
Yeah,
So
I
shame on
agree.
Tepper, man. Shame on Tepper. And like I said, I repeat again, I don't like the fact that he's been so damn quiet throughout all this.
Yeah,
I don't
we
like that shit. Give
yeah
the fans hope. All right, so there's times where he's up in the box, right? And he sees the thousands of people filing out and saying, shit, what can I do to keep asses in seats? What can I do to keep this morale? Because before he took over, I don't care what anyone says. Like it was so obvious to see that this franchise had such a strong family culture. The fan base was together. Like this fan base is passionate. Now we're lacking that.
yeah.
But I didn't want to take it away from yours. I just wanted to get that out too, which is why Tepper was the plan.
That's true. I agree on that. Someone asked any way the Panthers could make a trade for Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers already said that he doesn't want to be a part of a rebuilding process.
Yeah, I mean,
So that's a
would
no.
be
But
nice. Would
and
be nice.
I believe they asked, uh, or could we trade for any other veteran quarterback? We have another video. If you go back on our page and look, we talked about the veteran quarterbacks that we could sign: Marcus Mariota, Trubisky, Cam.
Why?
I think were our three at the time. That was our that was
Man,
our choices.
it's probably best to start young, man. I mean, at
But
this point,
yeah, we
with
do
that,
have a yeah at this point probably. So we had so we said what about blaming Cam for the part of the season he played? He definitely didn't live up to my expectations.
sure you can get some blame. Yeah, sure you can get some blame. He was more of a Hail Mary cause for this situation.
Yeah,
Obviously, he didn't play his best football, and at the end of the day, when you're the quarterback of a football team, you play as to translate as to what we hope. So, like, at the end of the day, Cam Newton is probably one of the um, most commonly known football players the game's ever seen, and it comes with a lot of media. His return sparked a lot of attention. Um, brought a lot of eyes back to Carolina for people who'd probably given up on the season. He does get some blame, yeah. But at the end of the day, man, when coaching, when coaching is almost impossible to overcome. It's almost impossible to overcome bad coaching at the measure that Matt Rule's at. I
yeah,
mean, he's so inexperienced. I mean, guys. I mean, I've seen this man make zero adjustments this season. I mean, the offensive coordinators they don't really. I mean, we abandoned the run early because guess what? We're at a deficit. So I mean, yeah, I'll throw a little blame Cam's way, sure. But there's bigger problems than just Cam. I mean, that to me, problems are like ownership, coaching. I'm not blaming Fitterer. Fitterer is not to blame for all this shit. This
if
is his
anything,
first
he's
season,
helped.
and yeah, exactly. And they helped build this defense. And that's one thing I will give Matt Rule and Marty Herney. They helped build this defense,
Yeah,
which is good, which is good. But if you see that there's a eye gouging problem at quarterback and offensive line, why not address that as well? I mean, that's cool. You take 1 year to dedicate to the defense, but guess what? Troy Pride's hurt. We really didn't see much of him. Bravion Roy, yeah, he's okay, yeah. Um, I don't know. Just a lot of it to me is ownership and authority figures within the franchise. Like, and players, like I said, players do deserve some, but
yeah,
it's almost impossible to win games behind a team that's just ran in a shitty way and coached in a shitty way. What really can you do? You know,
yeah. So uh, back back to the voting board here. You can also vote for more than one, but only David Tepper, head coach Matt Rule, the players, the fans. Who you blame? Who do you blame in this whole process here? So far, a lot of people. Matt Rule, call in. Did you see the number at the bottom there? 910-912-7545. Call in. Tell us who you think is to blame for the past 3 seasons, really. Ever since David Tepper took over, past 3 seasons have been bad. Has the blame gone on him? Past 3 seasons we've had Matt Rule. Has the blame gone on Matt Rule? The players haven't really been that great in any category other than the defense this past year. Does the blame go on the players? Offensive side, defensive side of the ball. Does the blame
But
go on us, the fans, for not keeping
we
the
definitely
morale in
deserve
the stands?
definitely
So,
deserve some as fans. Um,
but
not taking pride in being loud at home, booing the team, which is I'm not saying it's not warranted at all, but I mean, shit. At the end of the day, it's win, lose, or draw. Like I can't stand seeing people, want to go to the games and then leaving early and then talk about, it's a win, lose, or draw. If you're going to be a dollar fan like you and I, you have to go through the bad. You have to go through the bad.
yeah,
It
for
was
sure.
it. Some games were almost unbearable to watch. But I was like, you know what? At the end of the day, this is my team, win, lose, or draw. So these fans are a bit soft too, in my opinion. I mean, they talk their shit and they leave early. They talk shit. We're up early, and they leave when stuff starts hitting the fan. Some of these fans are soft. Some of these fans are fair weathered. Um, ever since ever since about 2015, I mean, people have been up and down about it. Love this thing. I'm fucking done sports, man. I fucking love it. I can't stand that. Okay, you're either in or you're out. I mean, for me, it's disrespectful if you got one foot in and one foot out. That's not fair. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it's gonna happen. I remember this in high school. It's the year where we started off 0-3 with Ron Rivera. A lot of reports of him being on a hot seat. He should be fired. Then we caught that big ass win streak. I think we won like 9 or 10 in a row. But it's
Mm.
funny because my mama took me to the mall, and I promise there's a purpose to the story. Mom took me to the mall for my birthday, and I got me a jersey and I got me a hat. Mind you, the shelves were fucking fully stocked. Like no no one bothered. No one bothered at the time because guess what? It's fair weather shit. But come come like late December, early January, there's like one visor on the shelf. That's bullshit. That's
Yeah.
bullshit. That's
Yeah.
bullshit.
Only
I get
only
everyone's like,
behind the
what's
window winning.
materialistic? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's bullshit. Like, don't be fair weathered. Don't do that shit. It's because that makes you soft.
Yeah.
Don't cut on the games. Don't be one of those fans that say, oh, I love my team so much. Like, when was the last time you watched a game? Oh, I never get time to watch them, or I haven't watched a game in years. Bullshit.
Yeah.
Bullshit. And then God forbid, they make a huge play. Their team makes a huge playoff run.
Oh,
Oh God,
here
they're
they
all over
come.
Facebook. They're talking their shit. Oh
Yep.
my fucking team, this and that. That's how some Panthers fans have been, and I don't like
Or
that shit. You're
yeah.
soft, me personally. Whoever I'm talking to directly, whoever that may offend, yeah, you're soft as fuck. Yeah,
Yeah. I agree.
I can't stand that shit, man. Stand 10 toes on what the fuck you believe, because I
Yeah.
do. I give everyone gives me shit every day, and guess what? It comes with the territory. Add this podcast on top of it. Guess what? More of a target is for me. And I walk outside every day. You fucking good ass Panthers fan hit me with an arrow. I mean, it comes with the territory. Just stand 10 toes down on what you
Yeah.
support. So yeah, a lot of these fans like giving up, walking out, and booing the team. There's reason to be upset, like I said, but booing them and at home, booing them at home and walking out. I mean, like I said, what is that supposed to mean to them? At the end of the day, their play's not translating to what we want, obviously.
Yeah.
But when you walk out, you're basically saying, "Fuck out of here," whatever. That's to me that would defeat me almost. I mean, I still play hard because that'd be the kind of person I'd be, but like that would almost like crumble my confidence. Like, damn, they're walking out to start the third quarter,
Oh yeah.
like 11 minutes or 11 minutes to go in the third quarter. You're walking out, like
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
But
I agree.
anyway,
I'm looking up the
that's my little spill.
attendance record for this past year. So here's the top 10 teams with their attendance. How many people attended a game? Number one with Dallas Cowboys.
Of course,
Always have a strong. They always have a strong following, and but it helps to have a big stadium like they do too. Number two, Denver Broncos. Didn't have the greatest season in the world, but people are going. Number three, New York Giants. Definitely didn't have a good season. People are going. Surprisingly, the Carolina Panthers are number four. People are going, but they're like you said, they're leaving early. We've been there. They're selling their. But here's the thing. This stat won't show you. Season ticket holders at Carolina Panthers are selling their season tickets to the opposite team.
yeah,
Season
yeah.
ticket holders won't even go. Yeah, and that's –
So the
yeah.
amount of the amount of people from the opposing team side are double. It
Yeah.
doubled. At least from when we went. I'd say so. Even
Yeah.
Big Cat from Keep on the TV, I mean, he even alluded to that. There's always more. It always seems like there's more opposite team colored jerseys there. So
Yeah. Yeah. For
don't let
sure.
that stat fool you.
Yeah. Exactly. Number 5, Kansas City Chiefs are doing well. Number 6, Los Angeles Rams doing well. Number 7, Green Bay Packers always have a following. Number 8, Eagles. They even took over our stadium. But again, not the best in the world, but fans are going. Atlanta Falcons, number 9. New York Jets, number 10. So out of those top 10, out of those top 10, I just named 1, 2. I won't count the Panthers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Half of that top 10 list did not have a good season, under 500, but fans are going. Now the Panthers were in it, but we know a little bit more inside information because we are a Panthers podcast, we're Panthers fans.
Yeah.
People are selling their tickets out to yeah. And I wonder, I would like to see a game by game breakdown because I don't well maybe because they were kind of winning, but it was still early in the season. But I wonder how much of that increased after Cam was signed. I wonder if
I was gonna say that a lot of
yeah,
that increased when Cam came back
yeah,
because everyone's living in that mindset, including myself, is like we may have saw Cam's last few snaps in Carolina.
yeah,
And I even alluded this year, but I mean, by the time Cam got signed, the ticket prices were almost unaffordable at the time for me. I mean, still are. I mean, so
yeah,
I mean, well, it just depends on where. I mean, we wouldn't have won this year, but you know, I mean, obviously, I'd pay to go see him play, but I'm not. The Bucks game was ridiculously priced. I get it. Tom Brady's in town. Cam's in town.
yeah,
But yeah, I think a lot of those. I think that Washington football team game that I think damn near sold out. Damn near sold
yeah,
out.
yeah. It felt like the entire world was watching, as Mick Mixon said
Yeah.
in his call. So, um, but yeah, I'll show you again. Today we're asking, who do you blame? Who do you blame? I want you to vote now. Vote in the chat. Call in. Vote. Tell us what you think. Go over all of it. You blame owner David Tepper for the past couple seasons, 3 seasons. Head coach Matt Rule. The players itself. The fans in the stands. Who you blaming? Everybody has a little bit responsibility, I would say. But so
Oh
far,
yeah.
everyone's saying head coach Matt Rule. Head coach Matt Rule so far is everyone's to blame. Call in. You
The
see the number
runaway
there.
favorite.
910-912-7545. Call in and tell us who you blaming. What's the problem? What's the problem with Carolina? Why are they losing?
By the way,
Why
my
has the culture changed?
my bold prediction is that we take a quarterback in the first round, and don't be surprised if we take Sam Howell.
Yeah, that
I'm
sounds
getting a
more
feeling
and
that might
more.
be. I'm getting a feeling that Matt Rule may make a desperation move here. He knows
Yeah,
he's bleeding in the water. He knows my time is. I mean, I've been through 3 quarterbacks now. Pickett has been playing well, from what I heard. I mean, these look good. Don't get me wrong, man. I would love to have Sam Howell there if it was right, but he's been so damn up and down, man. It's like
yeah,
his ceiling is high. To me, he has a high ceiling as a quarterback.
yeah. I've been
I,
reading a
I
little bit. David Tepper just got another vote in the chat, so I'll add that. Um, I was reading that Sam Howell, I guess because so many eyes were on Pickett and the Liberty quarterback,
yeah,
he kind of snuck through it all. But they said he had a strong showing. Arm was real nice and he threw real hard, cutting through the wind. Um, it was
and if we,
so hard to find the stats for that Senior Bowl game. I couldn't find it nowhere.
I watched a little bit of tape on him throwing. I mean, he throws the ball hard.
Yeah,
But it was a lot of one-on-one drills too. I would like to see him. Like, I don't know. We'll have to look at his combine and see how he does it. Don't get me.
yeah,
I don't hate Sam Howell. I actually, as a because LSU is my number one favorite college football team out there, and then it's Carolina. And Anthony. I think we touched on one of our earlier podcasts. We went to one of the other.
Georgia
Well, actually, no,
State.
we went to Carolina Tar Heels game. Yeah, Georgia State. I was trying to think of what team we were playing.
Mm,
And it seemed like Sam couldn't get in a rhythm early on. And then he finally started catching his bits. But I guess a team that caliber, what
yeah,
disappoints me is the fact that he was supposed to be the runaway favorite. It was him and Rattler to be the runaway favorite for the Heisman
for
Trophy.
Heisman. Yeah.
And you and I looked at each other and we were just like, man, he ain't playing like a Heisman
No.
Award winner right
Yeah.
now,
It
man.
was. Yeah. For sure.
The talent is there, but if we do draft somehow, which I wouldn't, I wouldn't. At the end of the day, I will support what this team's about. At the end of the day, whatever pick we have, I'm support it. And I would love to see Sam Howell do well in Carolina. And I'm speaking on a future thing that may not even happen. Don't get me wrong, he's a Carolina guy. I love to support that guy. I mean, what a marketable move if we get Sam Howell. I mean,
Yeah.
from Waynesville, North Carolina, Indian Trail, North Carolina. Went to high school in Carolina. Played college football in Carolina. The potential is there, man. I just hope if we do pick him, I hope his game can translate to the next level. And I think that's a lot of
Yeah.
people's concern. But also, Pickett would be a safe move if that's what we want to do at quarterback, which is what we might do. I still don't know. But if I had to have a theory about it, I think Matt Rule's gonna make a damn desperation move, man. Like I say, he's bleeding in the water and he's in deep, deep water right now. He knows.
Yep. You think it'll be a Ben McAdoo choice if we go quarterback,
Ben
or do you?
McAdoo will probably have a choice in that, man, and I
Yeah.
trust Ben McAdoo with a quarterback. I do trust him with the quarterback.
Mm,
Schematically, still up in the air about it. I mean, like I
yeah.
said, he's worked well with quarterbacks, and I've done some work on him. He's good with quarterback. He was always known to be really good as a quarterbacks coach, and I think he can help the progression of even a Sam Howell. I think that may be a great pairing. Or can he pick it? Now, what I've heard about Pickett is that he can process information super, super fast so he can get through his reads quickly, is what Sam Darnold can't do. Sam Darnold freaks the fuck out. He's shit,
Yeah.
shit, 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 shit.
Yeah.
No, it's
Why do you think it worked in the first three, or even the four games? Because even in the Dallas game, we lost, and he didn't look bad. Sam Darnold. What do you think happened between? Was it coaching? Is it players?
I think
The
it was
owner, the
coaching. I
fans?
think I think a lot of it was coaching. I mean, a lot of corners just sitting on our routes. The people were able to take away the run from us, and they really exposed Sam Darnold after that Cowboys game.
Yeah.
Um, Christian McCaffrey gone. You see how much Sam Darnold had to make it work. That hopefully I can say Sam out. You had to see how much Sam Darnold had to make it work with just his throwing intangibles,
Yeah.
and he's still a little inexperienced in that manner. It worked early on, I think, because we had Christian, and that puts a lot of stress on the defense. That puts so much
Mm.
because at the end of the day, man, you got to look and say, all right, where's 22? Where is he? At? Where's he? At? Shit, where's he? At? Fuck, they stuffed the ball. Boom, there's Christian
Yeah.
McCaffrey. Or he runs a great route, or he runs physical. At the end of the day, team saw what we were without Christian McCaffrey. Oh yeah, we're gonna press these fucking receivers because they run the same damn route every other play.
Yeah.
And Sam Darnold, all we gotta do is just get back there. He doesn't have any damn pocket awareness. He can move a little bit, but his decision making when he's under pressure is horrible. Like
Yeah.
there was a time I think you and I were watching that. I think it was the Vikings game, and he held the ball for so long. There was nothing open. I remember screaming, "Throw it away!
Throw
Throw
it
it
away.
away!" And for some damn reason, he thought it was a good idea to just put in the tightest window. Live to see
Yeah.
another day. That's what happened. Teams exposed Sam Darnold for his inability to not see another day. And what I mean
Yeah.
by that, for people who may not know what I'm talking about, is like, okay, no one's open. This play is not going to work. I shouldn't make a dumbass decision and try to force a throw. I'm going to throw it away, and we're going to come back to a different look. And he
Yeah.
doesn't do that. And like I said, in those three games, man, I am such a dire fan, and I let my emotions get the best of me instead of being realistic. I was like, okay, let's wait till we play the team of the Cowboys caliber.
Yeah.
And the caliber of the Cowboys, I mean, they were really good. I mean, they had a really good fucking year. They could have won the Super Bowl. I mean, they had the talent and potential to. But Sam Darnold had a decent game that game, but at the end of the day, when people start watching tape and they start getting down your tendencies, that was 4 games in. Okay, well, they hadn't made any big adjustments since Christian's been on. So let's just fucking press these guys.
Yeah.
Let's just load the box, make them throw. So to me, that's what happened. People figured out what we did with Sam Darnold and what made it easier for him, and what made it easier for him became our demise. So
Yeah. That's for sure. And that's being on. And it's not all the players. If you say if you vote blaming the players, we're not talking about all the players, but a majority, everybody had something to
Right.
do with it. I'll go back to the vote for a second. You call in a vote or in the chat. Give us your vote. Who do you blame for the Carolina Panthers and what they've gone through lately? Tepper got another vote here recently, so now it's owner David Tepper. He's got 2 votes from you guys. Head coach Matt Rule, 3. Players and the fans both tied at 1. Who do you guys blame for this mess? David Tepper. Let's go down it. David Tepper comes in, buys the team. Things change a little bit. You can feel the shift in the winds,
Yeah.
as you could say. But New York guy, owner of Southern team, is that what it is? I'm not sure. But Tepper goes out, flies to Matt Rule's house, hires Matt Rule. Matt Rule doesn't do a good job. That's kind of on Tepper. Matt Rule not doing a good job is basically strictly on him. But
Yep.
at the end of the day, the players play. That's on them. A little bit on them, but they do need a better coach to scheme and plot. It is the NFL. And then the fans are just leaving early, not coming in, not going. Well, they're going to the games, but they ain't Panther
They're
fans.
coming in, but they're leaving hella early.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, or they're leaving early. Yeah, so
Yeah, or they're opposing teams. Yeah. So
yeah. So who do you blame? Tell us. Who do you blame? Call in. You see the number there. Now you see the number here. 910-912-7545. Tell us who is to blame in this. We'll go.
I think
We'll go maybe another 10 minutes here, and I'll close up the phone lines, but and the whole show itself. But yeah, there's it's a little bit of everybody. Go ahead, sir. You were getting ready to say something.
no, I was just saying, like I've had this conversation with you too, man. It's like when you most billionaires are egotistic. Let's just be realistic with it.
All
I
right.
mean, most of them are egotistical assholes. Most of them, not all of them, because I don't know all of them. But I think a lot of another reason why Tepper's to blame is because he doesn't want to come out and say, "Hey guys, I fucked up. I hired the wrong guy. I don't want to fire him. I don't know no better." No, I keep quoting Coach Brown from last issue. Now, seriously, he doesn't want to admit he made a mistake, and that's not healthy because now we're coming into year 3, and I will give this to Matt Rule. He's always made that big jump in year 3. Okay, can't deny that it's statistically proven, right? But at
Yeah.
the end of the day, if we don't make that leap, and if it backfires on us again, guess what? I'm gonna blame this whole thing on Tepper, which he doesn't give a shit about my little ass voice. But guess what? This Matt Rule thing,
I do,
yeah,
Donnie.
I appreciate it, man. At least someone gives a shit.
Hey,
But no,
real
I mean
quick,
most of them.
in the chat, Big Daddy Wayne Smith. I know who that is. Upper management needs to blame. This team needs an offensive line and big time receiver across the middle. We did draft the receiver in Terrence Marshall. What happened there? Don't know. But
I
yeah.
agree. We need to use the tight end a little more too. If Big Daddy Wayne would agree, he's a very smart man. Shout out to Mr. Wayne Smith. Hats off to him. Take my hat off.
It's a lot of money in that backfield.
Now, a lot of exactly, which is another upper management problem. We paid all that. Marty Honey paid all those motherfuckers a lot of money not to play. So
That's true. Even
I
even even
think
Christian, you can't blame Christian for signing that contract, but boy, oh boy, and
yeah,
you can't blame him for
yeah,
being. Man, he's almost in a worse position than Cam in a way. With Cam, of course, he walked into shit, walked out of shit, shit going into shit. But uh, but
it,
that turnaround game, he's got such a workload because of of course they're going to blame that work or blame they're going to put that workload on him because of the kind of player he is. Once in a what you say,
yeah,
Donnie? Once in a generational kind of player, once in a lifetime.
yeah, kind of tell him. Yep.
Yeah, and so he's going to get that workload. I don't care where he goes, he's going to get a workload. And
Yeah. Oh yeah.
so he and then the quick turnaround and the workload and then the quick turnaround he had, he got injured and injured in the past as well. And then we signed him. Yeah, I'd sign that contract too. So yeah, we
He's
can't.
definitely deserving of it prior to the
Hmm.
injury, man.
Yeah. What do you, let me
It's
ask you this time, because we've had friends of ours say you don't pay a running back that kind of money. What are your thoughts on that?
um, it's not a bad contract. I mean, when you're most of the playbook that Christian McCaffrey is, why the hell not?
Yeah, somebody's going to
You
pay
know,
him. Either
Yeah,
we do or
someone's going to
someone
pay
else
him.
will.
He's going to get that money. And let me
Yeah.
just say this. I want to touch on this because I think Christian McCaffrey might end up being Cam Newton 2.0, not with the fall of Cam Newton or anything like that, but we're wasting Christian's perfect prime years, like kind of like we wasted Cam's. Um,
Yeah.
not with not having the right situation around him to make that next step. Christian McCaffrey's been to the playoffs one time since he's been here. And that was in 17. And that was
Yeah.
when we didn't have any fucking receivers. Now that we got receivers, guess what? Now we don't have an offensive line. Now we don't have an offensive. Now you have a quarterback. But
Yeah.
I just it hurts to see that we're wasting. Everyone's gonna fucking kill me. I mean, thank God. Just thank God I can make this statement and just know that people are gonna fucking hate me. Cam Newton, to me, fucking stupid, Donnie. I already know I'm here all that. Cam Newton to me is a once in a generation kind of talent. He should have been protected. He should have been given those weapons to flourish. I said it. Fucking fine. I said it. Hey, now what? I mean, fuck, you hate me? Okay, that's fine.
I agree. He
Christian
is.
McCaffrey. Exactly. And I mean, I don't have a problem saying, I know people are going to have a problem with me saying, I don't have a problem saying, I'll say it again. Cam Newton's a once in a generation kind of talent. That's just my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And Christian McCaffrey, another one of those once in a generation kind of talent. Franchise pieces. Not only that, but franchise pieces. Now it's hard to build a football team around a running back, right? Most people can agree upon that. But why not get him a quarterback to play ball with?
Yeah.
See, the thing is, what hurts me the most is the fact that we never got to see Cam Newton and Christian McCaffrey healthy together fully for a long, drawn out season. Now, mind you,
That's a good point.
we never did, and everyone's like, "Well, who fucking follows that? It's Cam's fault for being a good fucking injured." They're gonna start cussing about Cam being injury prone. It's football, right? Everyone gets hurt. A lot of people play banged up, right? But it just hurts me that we never got to see that true duo play together consistently without injuries for throughout Cam's time in Carolina. Who knows what's going to happen afterwards? But my point is like we have wasted two so far. We are wasting two. Well, we wasted one already with Cam. God bless us. Sorry, Cam, but Christian McCaffrey might be number two, man, and it's not fair to him because we literally hit on that pick when we got him. I was happy as ever, man. What he brings to a football team is just stellar, man. He's remarkably a once in a generational kind of talent, right? I think a lot of it when healthy. Well, he's not fucking healthy. How can he be? When he's healthy, okay, don't be a dick. When he's healthy. I don't know. I don't want to see us do. I don't want to see Christian McCaffrey go out so much left to be done in Carolina because I mean he could be he has potential to be very well our best franchise player ever. I mean it's hard to overcome Steve Smith. I don't know if anybody ever did that. But, no, and I'm gonna make this quick point. I'm gonna stop talking about it. But when I bring up the fact that we should trade Christian McCaffrey if the offer is right, I don't say that like man fuck that guy. It's not that. It's the state of now what we're in with bad decision making from our ownership and executive office guys. I mean, we literally, like I said, we have so many deficiencies to address, and now we're going to be draft naked from rounds 2 and 3. And I don't know. I don't want to see Christian go. I don't, man. And I just want to touch on that. I know because I'm Christian one of my all-time favorite players. So just wanted to allude on that real quick and kind of show people where I was at mentally with the whole thing. Because if it happens, it's going to suck. It is going to suck. It's going to be a bad day.
A lot of blame to go all around. So your final vote here, sir. if you had to vote one or two or three or four or all four, who are you placing the blame on? Pepper, Rule, players, fans? You can do more than one.
So
you can do more than one. You can do all three, or you can do three, you can do four.
Hey, I'm going at the main two. I'm going at the duo. First off, I'm going at Tepper because this is his damn decision that he was so fucking. I need to go to this guy's house. I got to meet him right now. That's on him because now we're in the shit because of him. So I'll probably put him at one. Honestly, I know I probably said Rule earlier, but the more I think about it, And the point that you made, and the more, like I said, the more I thought about it, I blame Tepper number one.
Hmm.
Two, Matt Rule, and he trust me. When I put him at two, guess what? They are strive for number one. I mean, it's gonna be a fucking miracle finish for one of them. It's gonna be a close one. I mean, they might fucking collapse at the finish line. How fast those guys are running to be the number one blame. Those are my two. The players, I can't really blame them because they ain't fucking led well. They
Yeah,
have no true leader at coach or even ownership. Don't get me
yeah,
wrong, I do like what Tepper try to do. I love the fact they put the logo, on the field. Wants to, get new turf in and wants to, put a roof over stadium, got some new practice. So that's all fine and dandy. But guess what? That shit ain't translating to the field. When it doesn't translate to the football field,
yeah,
what are you really doing, right?
yeah.
I hate to sound like one of those guys, but I mean, what has Tepper done for me lately? I mean, besides
For
causing me
real.
fucking hate and anger.
Other than
So
raise
yeah,
the prices. Well, let me try. I was thinking about this question. Let me try to like vice versa what we're asking. Thinking back to the first two Super Bowls, Jake Delhomme era, Cam Newton era. Who do you congratulate? Let's flip it. Was it the owner that got us to those Super Bowls, putting it all together? Was it the coaching putting it all together that got us to those Super Bowls? The players or the fans? You can do more than one. Real quick, David in the chat. He goes 40% rule, 40% Tepper, 15% players, 5% fans. So a little bit of blame to go around to everyone,
yeah,
but
that's fair.
mostly rule and Tepper. And then he's got a little bit on the players and then a little bit on the fans. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a good breakdown. I like that breakdown.
me too. Me too.
That's a good one. That I may even agree with you. Well, I'm gonna go 25% everybody, and even 25%. Uh, just to be fair, I guess. But that's I like that. That's good.
That's a
But
really good
yeah,
point, though.
back to what I was asking you. Who got us to those two Super Bowls? You think? Where do we have
Well,
basically what do we have to improve today in order to get back to the Super Bowl, those
so
playoffs?
so it's almost a trickle down effect. So
And he can be more than one. But yeah, go ahead.
exactly.
That's a good
No,
point.
no,
What
I,
you're
I
already
was gonna
making.
say. So
Good point. Trickle down
appreciate
effect.
it. Well, starts off with the top guy, ownership. The guy that says, okay, this is my football team. I want to ran this way. This is who I'm going to have. This is my general manager.
Jay
This is
Richardson.
how I'm going to have it. Yes, Jerry Richardson gets a lot of credit.
Does.
Gets a lot of credit. Now the shit he done, it's fucking terrible. Let me make that clear. That's terrible. That's terrible.
Yeah.
I liked him as an owner as far as how he built
Yeah.
this football team.
We're
That
talking
other shit,
strictly owner.
yeah, strictly football, strictly football, strictly
And
football shit. I
ownership.
mean,
Just like Chris
yeah,
Benoit. We're strictly his wrestling.
yeah, great wrestler, but shit person, and that's so. Jerry Richardson,
Yeah.
strictly football as an
Yeah.
owner, was a fantastic owner. Okay, hence why we went to two Super Bowls under his ownership. Okay,
Yeah.
then I congratulate three. Got to put Capers in there too.
Oh yeah.
Three
Mm-hmm.
those three great coaches. On okay, this is how Mr. Richardson wants it done. Okay, I'm going to do it this way, the way he wants it, because I believe in, I trust in the process. I think it's going to work. And if you look at it, then their great coaching decisions led to such great play on the field. Players that want to play for John Fox,
Yeah.
players that want to play for Ron Rivera, players that want to play for Capers. To me, like I said, it's a trickle down effect. Okay, good shit here, good shit here. It's
Mm-hmm.
just building blocks,
The whole
building blocks. So
organization.
stacking your way up to, yes, yes.
Yeah.
So, and if you look at it, man, players have come out and said, Julius Peppers, Steve Smith, they all thought highly of, Mr. Richardson as a football owner. I mean,
Yeah.
apparently, from what I heard, I always heard good things about Mr. Richardson. I don't really want to dive into that just because I don't know much about it besides the things that have made headlines. But they've always thought
Yeah.
highly of who he was. Greg Olson has even spoke about how he ran football, and all that stuff. So yeah, that's my philosophy. It goes from ownership. Good ownership gets all the credit because guess what? Everyone shits on Jerry Jones, and deservingly so. I mean, they're the most publicized team. They're the most
Mm.
shoved down our throat, and it's
America's team.
every yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's the order I put it in. So good ownership, then turns into good coaching, then turns into great play on the field. I know
Yeah.
it's everyone's like, well, duh, Donnie, you dumbass, but sorry.
Well, and it's almost a reverse effect too, because the fans aren't going to show up unless the players are playing good. The players aren't going to play good unless
Yeah,
they're led great, and then you can't get a great leader unless the owner makes a good decision. So it's almost a reverse. It's up and down all around. It's just all one big pot. And those two times we went to the Super Bowl, even the NFC Championship, our first or second year in the NFL, um, it was just everybody was bought in, and that's the biggest problem. People have got to buy in. So last thing here in the chat, David said, I would love to see Donnie and Anthony as the Panthers owners. It would be cool to see how you guys run things. Well, I appreciate that, but we can't even barely run
I
this
appreciate
podcast.
it.
I can't even barely run my life.
If I hit the lottery, got a side hustle, just believe Bank of America Stadium will be fucking rocking. We'd have that bitch. We'd have that bitch crazy. We'd have Petey Pablo perform during the
Yeah.
playoff game. Have him come down, have fucking J. Cole perform, have them all come down there and zip line while performing.
Yeah, how come they haven't reached out to? Well, they probably have reached out to J. Cole, but I think J. Cole has a certain feelings about
Yeah, the
the
NFL. Yeah,
NFL with the whole Kaepernick
a
thing.
lot of people do. Yeah,
Yeah, the whole
and
Kaepernick
that's
thing.
fair. I mean, everyone has.
Sure.
Um, but yeah, I mean that would be cool as shit though, man.
Yeah, I
I
do want to see a Fable guy pound that drum one time.
I um let's see what's that would be cool, man. I mean, the Carolinas can be such a rich place for sports, and that's why I'm hoping we get back to football prominence.
Yeah,
Um, I mean,
because the Hornets is
keep
coming along. You
yeah, yeah,
imagine the Canes, the Hornets,
yeah,
the Panthers all at once rocking.
yeah.
Man,
Oh,
so and
there's
movies
potential there in the
coming back.
Carolinas. That's
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And they need to start making movies here again.
absolutely,
So hey, we're proud to be from the most beautiful state. We're a little biased, but from the most beautiful state this
yeah.
country's ever seen. We got a little bit of everything. Um, Great team, believe it or not, great teams, great sports. If you're a Tar Heel fan, you're like me and Donnie. You're still loathing in the loss of last night, uh, and the season of
Tough
the
one.
Panthers. Nothing's really looking up other than the Hornets, but the Hornets have gone on a little bit of a losing streak. I think they're a couple of games but they're doing a lot better than what they have. So, but I'm gonna close it on down for us a little bit. Bam, close down those phone lines. Unless we get a last second one, I'll take it. Um, but yeah, that's it. I'll show you one more time here. Our little voting system we had. Thanks for those who watched and joined and talked in the chat and voted, that kind of thing. Maybe next time we'll get us somebody to call in and talk a little bit with us. That's all right. There'll be times where we don't get much, but hey, who to blame? We asked you who you voted for. We voted ourselves. You guys voted. We got 2 for David Tepper, 3 for Matt Rule, and the fans and the players won. So by a unanimous decision, we're talking head coach Matt Rule. He gets the blame. He's got to go. He's got to go, Donnie. We got to get him out of here. And we're willing to give him one more season, half a
I
season.
want him to make me eat crow, man. I really want him to.
Yeah, I say half a season. We're willing to give him about half a season.
5
Come,
games.
yeah,
Let's cut that shit. Let's cut it in
yeah.
half.
Come,
Or
like
in the smaller
playoff.
portions.
What do they call that? Some like December football, where it's like starting to look okay. The playoffs are
Yeah.
starting to shape up a little bit. We're starting to see who may be going to the playoffs. December, and we're not having a fantastic winning record year type turnaround thing. Even if I'll even take if we miss the playoffs by a little bit, but there's potential. I yes, I don't know because we've already spent 2 years of this bull crap. But if I see a big
Yeah.
progression and we just were like losing 3 or 4 games by 3 points, kind of like the Ravens did, Ravens went on like this 4 or 5 stretch where last play of the game they just couldn't get it. They went for two, didn't get it. Something happened.
But see, they're to me though, man. I hate to disagree, but man, they're built so much better than we are.
That's no, I agree
To
with that. That's true.
the
That's true.
potential, the potentials. See, Matt Rule. I mean, it's either put up or shut up for this motherfucker, man. I mean,
That's true.
what he's passed on so many quarterbacks. That's okay, and he's passed on some really good offensive linemen.
They
Like
already have a foundation
really,
in Baltimore.
exactly. And there's
Yeah.
already hope in that city where we're well, not me and you aren't like shit. I don't want to go to the game. It's not that. The majority of Panthers fans are now becoming impatient. They're like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, let's fucking go. Year 3, let's go. What? Because like I said, he won 5 games in his first year, won 5 games in the second year, and that's when they did it with an additional game in the second
Yeah.
year. They could
Yeah.
even get one more in the fucking additional game.
That's a good point. Yeah, you're right. And Harbaugh has a past where he's been in the playoffs, been deep in the playoffs,
Yeah,
has a Super
you
Bowl.
kind of know what you're going to get with Jim. I
Yeah.
mean, plus I think the Ravens need maybe to add another receiver or two to help Lamar a little bit.
Yeah.
That's just me. But no,
Establish a little bit more of a running game.
yeah, and they could
Not
probably
just
get that in the
Lamar.
draft because Dobbins went down, didn't he? Dobbins tore
Oh
his
yeah.
ACL this year.
Yep.
Yeah, so that kind of
So,
when they went through a lot of running back shit too. Yeah, so you're right, and that's another thing. Injuries kind of screwed them, whereas us just bad coaching, just fucking
yeah.
bad coaching.
It is bad coaching. It's a shame. All the talent, all that on paper we look great on paper.
Hell yeah,
Kind of like dots.
dots. Yeah, dots look good on motherfucking paper.
So, but that's it, man. We wanted to talk about this. Who to blame? Next week, guys, listen to this. Next week, if whoever's listening left, me and Donnie will be together, checking out the Super Bowl together and the UFC fights. There's a big fight,
Let's go
Israel
Izzy.
Adesanya next
My dog
weekend,
Izzy.
and the
I've been a
Black
day one
Beasts.
fan too, by the way.
Yes, sir.
Day
I
one
can
fan.
attest to that. And the Black Beast, Derek Lewis, his balls were hot. They'll probably be hot Saturday. Um, um, and then the Super Bowl we'll watch together. But we're also going to go live. I think just we'll work out. Between me and Don, we'll figure it out more. But
Yeah,
just before the Super Bowl, I think we're going to go live and we're going to talk of controversial subject of Joe Burrow and Cam Newton. I think. So yeah, we'll be together for the first time there. Um, and David in the chat is a big time Panthers fan. Panthers want to ride to the Super Bowl. Hop on. We're hopping on that train, but that train is not making it to the
I'm
Super
on.
Bowl. Yeah, we're on it. We've been on that train since '96. So even before Donnie was born, he was on that train. Because
Shout out my mom's side of the family. Black and blues in our DNA, man.
there it is, baby. That's what I was going to say. Black and blue is in our DNA. We're born with it. We're bred with it. Carolina Panthers till we die. What's the old Tar Heel saying? Uh, Tar Heel born, Tar Heel bred. When I die, I'm gonna be a Tar Heel dead. Replace Tar Heels with Panthers, which we are. Uh, Panther born, Panther bred. When we die, we'll be a Panther fan dead. All right. So hey, the DNA show, baby. Donnie and Anthony, thanks for joining in for the live show, baby. Next week we're going live again. We'll be together this time, talking about Cam Newton and Joe Burrow. The difference between the two. Boy, oh boy, I can't wait to get the calls on that one. People are going to, their heads are going to explode. So, because the hate is real out there on both sides, Burrow and Newton. So, but hey, last chance here. Who you going for? Not who you think, but who you going for Sunday, sir?
I'm going for the Bengals and Joe Burrow, man. I'm an LSU fan. Love Joe Burrow in college. Love Jamar Chase in college. Hope they can get it done. That'd be a really good fucking story. That city needs it. They've been
Yeah.
patient. They've been fucked over for so many years in the playoffs. I'm hoping Joe Burrow. What a beautiful story that would be, man. So I'm hoping Joey and my man Jamar can pull it together and
Yeah.
ride that Lombardi Trophy.
For sure. Everyone likes to see the underdog win. David and Goliath. He's ready. They're ready. Who they? Nation. So, But hey, at the end of the day, no matter who's playing in that Super Bowl, we got one team only because it's in our DNA, the black and blue. Donnie and Anthony Show, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for joining us all as always, sir. DBJ, as I call you, keep pounding.
God bless God up top. Thank you for all of the support.